Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to quarantine workout number 24. As you've come to expect, we're going to get started with the general warm-up, and you can find those details in a previous workout if you need to. After general warm-up, we're going to go into 10 and 10, just 10 normal walkouts, single push-up, nice clean push-up, and then 10 corrective squats. Just being deliberate, getting full range, getting yourself set up with good stance, good posture on these. After that, we're going to do the stability circuit. As you recall, stability circuit, you start with, it's always 30 seconds of everything until we get to the end with the plank, but it's cat and cow, working an inhale and an exhale. All right, from there, static tabletop extension, nice and tall, nice and stable. Opposite side, then you go on to the back. You've got your dying bug with a breath cycle for each rep. After that, you have static side plank, then opposite side. Then you've got, when this race start recovery position, nice straight spine, core engaged. You have your alternating single leg glute bridge. Remember, anything can be a reaction drill if you make it one. So this is a great move to turn into a reaction drill, focus on your stability, but imagine reacting to a starter signal. After that, simply have 1 minute of plank, and then you're done with the stability circuit. From there, we're gonna do the ISO cuff series. ISO cuff series, as you recall, ISO because it's not moving, it's a isometric contraction, and we're gonna go through 4 different rotator cuff positions. So you're starting here, palm is always facing the thigh. This is one move. And then the other one is here. So you can see how I switch my grip to keep my palm facing my thigh. And then when you're facing, again here, and then this one, we'll switch sides here. This one, the hand is just, comes out in front of you just a little bit. And then you're just gonna step away and hold for 5 breaths. So starting here, just step away. For 5 breaths. And step back and release. Then I would face away, walk out, 5 breaths, step back. Then I would face this direction, step out, 5 breaths, step back. And then lastly, I'm facing, step back, 5 breaths, step forwards, and then release the band. After that, there's 2 more moves, your internal and external rotators. So internal rotation here, step out, 5 breaths, hold. External, step out, hold for 5 breaths. That's your warm-up. Once you're done with that, we'll move on to the next thing. All right, folks, welcome back. So once you get through that warm-up, you're gonna get started with circuit number 1. Circuit number 1, we're gonna go through 5 rounds. First thing we're going to do, circuit number 1, is farmer carry. So you can use a bag if that's what you've got. You can use a couple of 5-gallon jugs of water. You can use, if you got kettlebells, if you got dumbbells, use those of course. I think the most real world applicable version of this for most of you guys, being that most of you guys are not farmers, is in fact doing suitcase carry. Technically a suitcase carry is a single arm carry, but you can do a double suitcase carry, and you can literally load up some suitcases. I'm sure you guys got some luggage in the closet at the house. Load them up, make sure that they got the same stuff in it, make sure they're the same weight. You can walk around those, train for the airport once the airlines get back online. So the way you're gonna walk, you're gonna go 80 steps total. So you can find a path through the house, or a lot of times when I'm in the garage, I'll just walk forwards and backwards. But the thing to remember is, when I'm taking that backwards step, I'm not covering as much distance, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 steps backwards. But when I do those backwards steps, I'm only gonna count it as 5. So regardless of how many small steps I take moving backwards, I'm only gonna count the number of steps that I took going forwards. So for 80, going 5 forward, 5 back, that would be 10 total. So I would go forwards and backwards 8 times to make 80 on the farmer carry. From there, I'm gonna come back inside. I'm gonna use my pull-up bar, or if I've got the sheets set up on the door, on the closed door, I can use that too. Pull-up bar, I'm just gonna hang And I'm engaging my shoulders right here. I'm not just hanging relaxed. I'm engaging, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower myself down and pull myself up. I'm gonna do these shoulder pulls. So I'm not gonna be pulling with my arms, bending my arms. I'm not gonna be changing the angle of my humerus relative to my shoulder here. I'm gonna keep a steady angle, and I'm just gonna work on retracting the scapula and pulling the shoulder, using the rotator cuff, using the lats, pulling the shoulder down, snug into the joint. So I'm just gonna hang here, lower myself down, and these are the pulls, just right here. And I'm gonna do 10 of these. Now, if I got the sheets on the door, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the sheets this way, and I'm just gonna kind of sit down against the back of the door with my legs out in front of me, and I'll just be kind of hanging back against the door like this. Ooh. That's why it's important that you close the door like this, and then I'm just gonna pull like that if I got those sheets installed there. Make sure your door is closed, preferably locked. You don't want that to happen to you. From there, I'm gonna get down into a plank, and I'm gonna do these plank shrugs. So starting from a neutral plank, I'm gonna press myself up nice and tall. Then keeping the shoulders down, I'm gonna pull my blades back. I wanna squeeze my shoulder blades together here, right? And then I wanna make sure that I'm not shrugging when I do this. So I don't wanna be here and shrugging myself forwards. I wanna keep those blades nice and lined up, get a nice vertical movement. I don't want my shoulders to creep closer to my ears as I'm pulling here, okay? From there, I'm gonna get into a handstand kick-up. So you can either do 5 left, 5 right, or if you're starting to get more comfortable with these, you can alternate. I'll set up, you can be against the wall here, kick up right, drop back down, kick up left, right, left, and you really want to try to be delicate at the top and try to get into that handstand. And what you're going to find as you get better at these is that you're going to think more about your wrists when you're balancing yourself, keeping the shoulders snug, but really balancing and engaging your wrists. Because think about when you're standing. If I'm standing on one leg and I'm trying to balance, what's working right now? If you pay attention, you'll notice it's your foot that's doing all the work right here. So when you're doing a handstand, you're keeping the shoulders snug, you're keeping your core engaged, but you really want to feel like you're engaged and active through the wrists, and that's going to help you find that stability. Last thing here on the warm-up circuit, we're going to do bag pull push-ups. So I got the bug out bag here. I'm going to do a push-up. I'm going to reach across, and I'm going to drag the bag to the other side. I'm going to do these for 10. Now, if you're not excellent at push-ups, you can go ahead, go from the knees, but then come up to the plank for the bag pull. So you just drop to the knees, good push-up, come up to the plank, pull them across. Of course, I want you to be working up to the point where you can do the full push-up, but you gotta work where you are right now. And if you can't put together a great push-up, it's a lot better for you to go from the knees and get that full range and keep your hips in line than it is to be struggling with the range and struggling with the stability through the core on a push-up when you could just go from the knees and get a better push-up out of it. All right, so that's the first circuit. Going into the second circuit here, and let's not forget, you're doing that 5 times there. The second circuit, we got fewer movements, but we're gonna go through this 8 times. So the first thing you're gonna do is a body row. Again, you can use the bed sheet setup. You can wrap them around your wrists if you need extra grip. And again, make sure that your door is closed and preferably locked, or at least put a little sign on it so people know that you're working out on the other end. I'm gonna do body rows. I'm gonna go 12 of these. So nice and low. Again, I set up, shoulders down, and I'm just gonna pull all the way, thumbs to the ribs here. You go for 12 there, keeping the body nice and stable. After that, I'm gonna grab this med ball, and what I'm gonna do here, I'm calling these Russian slams. So I'm working from this Russian twist kind of position, but what I'm gonna do is a slam. And what I wanna do on this, I'm gonna go 6 times, 2 slams, and I'm gonna reset between each. So what you'll see, the first slam, I set myself with my feet up, balanced. I'm gonna reach up and then slam it, and then other side. Then I put my feet down and I reset. So that's 1, There's 2. And there's 6. If you fumble it a little bit, don't worry too much about it. Just go ahead, get your composure back, and then just really think about being aggressive on the twist. You're gonna have to kind of swing your legs to bring it across, and focus on slamming it down hard and driving that elbow past your ribs on that slam. All right, from there, using the med ball again, we've got asymmetrical push-ups. These asymmetrical push-ups gonna be 6 on one side, 6 on the other side. So right here, 6 on one side, switch, 6 on the other side, and then the final thing here is going to be this bent single arm push down, and we're gonna alternate this for a total of 12. So when you're doing this push down, you're in your bent position. It's like a bent row or a bent curl position, or the bottom of a deadlift right here. And you're gonna be doing that single arm push, rotating the shoulders forward. So you can really think about this as kind of like the opposite of what you're doing on a clean. I'm pushing forwards, I'm pushing with the acceleration of gravity, meaning I really need to be quick to continue to accelerate that med ball. It's kind of like riding a bike downhill, right? If you want your pedaling to be effective when you're biking downhill, you gotta push the tempo. Otherwise, gravity is gonna accelerate you faster than the pedals, and you're gonna lose control of the pedaling on that bike. So you wanna be quick and accelerate through, maintain a strong connection with the ball all the way till the end, snap the wrist, push it down, lift it up, and switch sides. It's gonna look like this. There you go, 8 rounds of that, and that's all the fun that I have planned for you today. Go and get it.